Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I use dip powder and gel polish over my natural nails to make them nice and strong and also create a super pretty and simple manicure. So let's get right into the video. The first thing I'm doing is taking this almost like file on a stick. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like a little rough bit at the tip of this wooden stick, and it's basically just a file, and you can use this to remove any dead cuticle and tissue that is stuck on the nail. And this works super well, and it also preps the cuticle area, and it's way easier to get in there with this compared to a regular file. And now I'm just removing all of that extra dust and cuticle, and I'm also going in with my antibacterial spray, and this is just rubbing alcohol, and what this will do is clean the nail of any dust and oil. Now I'm going in with a 100 and 180 grit file, and I'm going to lightly etch the surface of the nail. And by doing this, we make sure that the product is able to grip on and stick to the nail. Now I'm going in with my red carpet manicure prep dehydrator, and this will make sure that we removed any oil from the nail and it will dry out the surface. So now I'm going to be going in with a gel primer, and this is sort of an optional step. I highly recommend it if you want your nails to truly last long, because this just adds an extra layer of stickiness to the nail, allowing the product to adhere to the nail. And normally you only see me do one coat of primer, but I've recently been seeing some nail artists use two, so I decided I would try it out and see if it made a difference. So for my dip powder and gel, I'm using this Yaogi base coat with my ASP quick dip powder in crystal clear, and this is a standard clear powder. And I'm also using this metal cuticle pusher. So I'm starting off on all of my nails by applying a thin layer of the base to about 3/4 of the nail, and I'm doing a nice even thin layer. And I only go 3/4 up the nail to build structure and to make the cuticle area less bulky. And now with my metal cuticle pusher, I'm using it as a little spoon, and I'm scooping the powder and sprinkling it over the nail. And I'm not dipping because I want the powder to apply evenly. And since the gel doesn't dry like the resin, I don't want to mess it up by dipping it into the powder. So I'm just making sure to cover every little area of the base coat. And then once I have the powder completely on all of my nails, I'm going to cure them for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. And then once that is fully cured, I'm taking a brush and wiping off any extra. And now I'm going in with my second coat, and this time I'm going completely over the entire nail with a nice even thin layer. And I want to make sure I go as close to the cuticle as possible without touching the surrounding skin. Because wherever you put the base coat, the powder will go, and then you're going to cure that, so you don't really want that on your skin. And now, just like before, I'm taking my metal cuticle pusher and scooping the powder up and sprinkling it over the entire nail, making sure to really coat every little bit of the gel. And you want to make sure you coat every single wet part, just so that when you cure, you have a nice even application of the powder. So then, once I have the powder on all nails, I'm again curing for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. And again, I'm taking my brush and wiping away any powder. And now I'm going in with a third coat. Now this third coat is kind of optional, depending on how thick you like your nails. I don't like my nails super thick, but I also wanted them to be strong enough because I wore these nails on a mission trip, and since I knew we were going to be doing work, I wanted to make sure that my nails would be strong and not break. So I applied a third coat just for that extra layer of protection, But if you only want your nails to be a little bit stronger but still a bit flexible, I would probably recommend only doing 2, just so you don't get a super thick and hard nail. But like I said, I wanted a bit more protection and strength, so I'm sprinkling on the 3rd layer, and then once I have all of the nails covered in powder, I'm going to cure for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. And then once fully cured, I'm wiping away any extra powder, and then I'm going in with one last coat of my gel base coat, and this layer is to protect the powder underneath when we file, because we don't want to file away any of the powder and make the nails uneven. So this basically protects the powder, and when we file this layer smooth instead of the actual powder itself. So I'm going to cure again for 30 seconds. And now I'm taking some alcohol on a lint-free wipe and wiping away the tacky layer on these nails, because this gel-based coat does have a tacky layer and you don't want that to gunk up your file. And once I have removed all of the stickiness, I'm going in with the 100 side of my file, and I'm just going along the free edge and side walls to make sure that the nails are nice and smooth and there are no little bumps. And then once I have done that, I'm going over the top of the nail and just buffing it lightly to smooth out the surface and make it nice and ready for the gel polish. So after filing my nails smooth, I'm dusting away any dust and powder still on the nail. And I'm also going in with my rubbing alcohol just to make sure we remove all of that dust. So I'm just wiping over the nails to clean them, and then once I've done that, I'm going in with my buffer, and I just really want to make sure that my corners and free edge are nice and smooth, so I'm just running that along the edge of the nail. And now I'm going in with my favorite cuticle oil to replenish and rehydrate the skin around my nails after using the alcohol and other products. So I'm just going to rub that into my skin and nails, and this just makes them nice and soft. So here is what the free edge looks like. So you can see that the nails are definitely thicker than my natural nails, but they are nowhere near super thick. So here are what the finished nails look like with the clear dip powder and gel. You could definitely leave your nails here if you aren't one that likes polish, but for me personally, I do like to have a manicure. So I'm going in again with my Yogi base coat and applying a thin coat to all of my nails, and this will make sure that our gel polish adheres. So I'm just applying a nice even thin coat, and I want to make sure I cover all of the spots that I'm going to apply my gel polish. And then once my base coat is on, I'm curing for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. So here is the color I chose. It is this white ASP gel polish called White Hot, and I applied my first coat here. And with gel polish, you want to make sure you are working in nice thin layers. So while this white polish may look pretty streaky on the first coat, I will do multiple thin layers to make sure it gets opaque rather than one thick layer. So I'm trying to get as close to the cuticle as possible without touching the skin, and then evenly applying the color on the entire nail. And then once I have my gel polish completely applied on all of my nails, I'm going to cure for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. Now I'm going in with a second coat, and I sped this up for you a little bit just because my gel polish application takes a little bit longer than my regular polish, just because I want to make it as perfect as possible, and gel polish can sometimes be a little bit harder to work with. But I applied a second coat to add a little bit more opacity and make sure I have a nice even color application. And I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. And then now I'm going in with my Yogi gel top coat, and this will add a nice beautiful shine to all of the nails. And I made sure to apply this to all of the area that I had color, and this will just seal in and protect our gel polish. And then once I have applied the gel polish to all of my nails and I like how it looks, I made sure it's nice and smooth and ready to be cured. So then once I'm happy, I'm going to cure for 30 seconds in my LED lamp. And lastly, I'm finishing off with a cuticle oil. I used this one, which is also another favorite of mine, and I applied a little bit to all of my nails and then rubbed it into my skin and nails just to rehydrate them and make sure they are nice and soft. So once I have rubbed in my cuticle oil, you can see here is the finished manicure. I loved how these nails turned out. They are nice and strong, and the gel polish adds a extra little bit of thickness as well. You can definitely apply regular polish over the dip powder as well, but I wanted to make sure these nails lasted especially long since I would be away from home. So now I'm going to show you how my nails look after 8 days. So I returned home from my mission trip, and you can see that all of my nails are still intact. There is just a little bit of growth from when I started. And here is my other hand, so you can see they still look pretty nice. There's just a little chip on my pointer nail and a little bit of tip wear on my thumb. But other than that, growth is only the really main thing that I would have to say is a negative, which, I mean, obviously you can't stop. So yeah, here is the before and after. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one.